So this Japanese guy, Alan, he started getting plastic surgery when he was 19. And by the time he hit 26, he'd already spent a whole 1 billion yen on it. Just think about that for a second. That's like a small apartment right in the center of Tokyo, or the super high-end sports car, or what a regular person might save up over 10 plus years. And he just put all of this money into his face. But for me, the old Alan before the surgeries, he was actually a good-looking guy. He had clean features, clear eyes in these photos, with a softer face shape. But after all of these surgeries, his features just became super exaggerated. A super high nose bridge, a super pointy chin, really thick lips, and his face that barely moves. You cannot just look away, but it's hard to say if he's still beautiful. Hi guys, I'm June and welcome back to my channel. Honestly, I think Alan, his natural face before was way more handsome and had more life in it. But in his mind, this post-surgery face, that's the real him. That's the one that's worthy of love. And also, this crazy intense plastic surgery journey is exactly what got him noticed in Japan. All these entertainment shows, medical programs, they started inviting him on as a guest to talk about his experiences. He became a regular fixture on TV. On these shows, he doesn't hold back. He openly says his face needs Botox or fillers injections every week or every other week. Even his nose shape needs constant maintenance, little tweaks every so often. Once, he went to a doctor wanting more surgeries, but the doctor refused because his nose was already at the absolute limit. They couldn't operate anymore. But Alan, he couldn't handle the idea of not having surgery. He says his biggest fear is getting old. He's terrified of wrinkles or sagging skin, terrified most of all of seeing that aging face in the mirror. He's so scared that if his face goes back to how it was, all his past effort, struggle, and the proof of his transformation would just vanish. He has to maintain this face he has now. It's his only reason for living. Hearing this, I bet a lot of you, like me, have the same burning questions. Where on earth did he get the money? Even the show host couldn't resist asking him that. Alan's answer shocked everyone. He said, I don't have a stable job, almost no income at all. But all my surgery money comes from my sugar mommies. He said it completely naturally, like it was no big deal. And he got even more shocking is, he admitted that he was seeing 5 sugar mommy at the same time. He said with their support, he barely spent his own money. Daily expenses, his monthly beauty treatments, even surgeries cost him millions of yen, all paid for by the sugar mommies. All he has to do was keep up his looks, keep them happy, keep their attention and money flowing. He even said straight out that people only have value when they are beautiful, young, and fresh. But then the pandemic hit and blew that all apart. With the economy tanking and people forced apart, Alan's roster of sugar mommies shrank drastically. In the end, only one was left. Suddenly, he saw a money crisis coming. One sugar mommy couldn't cover his huge surgery bills, so he started trying to be a YouTuber, going on more TV shows, making videos to attract viewers, hoping the exposure would earn him enough to barely cover his monthly 1.5 million yen surgery costs. And also thinking ahead, he started buying luxury clothes, fur coats, and he never takes the tags off because he said, when I go bankrupt, I can still sell these clothes for a good price. Another time, he wanted to lose weight and opted for liposuction on his stomach. But instead of feeling lighter after the surgery, he got a major complication. His private parts swelled up 3 times their normal size. He couldn't even wear pants or sit properly. Can you even imagine that pain? For us regular folks, if we felt fat, maybe we diet, hit the gym, eat less, move more. But not Alan. He thinks dieting is exhausting, exercises is too much hassle. He wanted an easier life, a lose weight lying down kind of life. That's why plastic surgery gave him that possibility, and he didn't want to let it go. Then on June 28, 2022, he updated his YouTube video saying that his teeth project was finally done. But this wasn't your regular braces. Alan chose to yank out all his perfectly healthy, real teeth and get full dentures, just because he thought his original teeth weren't pretty enough. Back in 2021, he'd written on his blog that the dentures he'd paid over 5 million yuan for were really uncomfortable. The very next day, he posted a picture showing that he'd pulled out his front teeth. All told, he pulled out 16 teeth just to get a set of perfectly white, straight fake ones. Just thinking about it sends a shiver down your spine, right? The wisdom teeth alone can keep you up nights in pain. But 16 teeth? I cannot even imagine the agony. Alan admitted on shows that the tooth pulling period was one of the most painful times in his life. He wasn't just dealing with the physical torture. He also had to face the fact that there was no going back. Once those teeth are pulled, you cannot go back to how you were. It's a path you can only walk forward, no turning around. Alan's childhood wasn't easy. He wasn't good at sports and liked hanging out with girls, so classmates often mocked him and bullied him. To escape that pressure, he started acting out, bleaching his hair, smoking, even stealing. Eventually, he got caught stealing and was sent to juvenile detention. So he completely cut contact with his family for 2.5 years while he was in there. And life inside wasn't any easier than outside. Bullying, loneliness, cold stares, maybe even worse than school. The only warmth he got was from a middle school teacher. This teacher fought to keep him from dropping out, helped him finish his graduation paperwork, and even held a special graduation ceremony for his inside the detention center. Maybe that one act of the gentle kindness left a tiny light inside him. His time in detention planted the seed of wanting to be an entertainer. He wanted to be special. He didn't want to be that invisible kid in the corner anymore. He wanted to be the center of attention. At 16, he decided to drop out and head to Tokyo alone to chase his dream. But reality wasn't as glamorous as he imagined. He had no clue how to become an entertainer, no connections. At his absolute lowest point, he met his first sugar mommy. It was this sugar mommy's support that lit the fire under his plastic surgery journey. So from 19 onwards, he started with the surgeries, tweaking his face structure over and over, sculpting his idea of perfection. His goal wasn't natural. It was that extreme, sculpted, hyper-defined look. He wanted the person who once mocked him to see just how dazzling he'd become. But the cost of all this surgery is huge, and not just money. His health paid the price too. He developed eating disorders, binge eating to cope with stress, his exercises, and his body started breaking down early. He's not even 30 yet, but he's already taking blood pressure medicine meant for old people. He calls himself a prime candidate for the 3 highs: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugar. Why would someone pour every ounce of energy into changing their appearance? Why endure pain, risk bankruptcy, sacrifice health, all to avoid being their original self? I think the answer might just be 2 words: deep insecurity. Those childhood experiences of bullying, rejection, and ridicule speed into his bones like poison. He couldn't accept his real self because That self was something no one wanted to be near. He needed a perfect shell to protect him, to stop the hurt. He turned beauty into a weapon to fight against this harsh world and against his past self. We cannot simply say he's right or wrong, but his story is a stark reminder. If someone has never truly been treated with kindness, they will exhaust themselves trying to become someone others will finally look at. But I still want to say that beauty shouldn't be your whole worth. Accepting your real self, that's the real kind of healing. In the end of making this video, I checked his social media for updates. His current look is a completely extreme change from even a few years ago when he was being interviewed. Looking back at photos of his original face, there is no a single trace of that person left anymore.